Have you ever had someone look at you and say, "Wow, you're how old? I never would have guessed"? If you've heard that before, take it as a compliment, and maybe even a little confirmation that you're aging better than most. But let me ask you something more important. How do you feel? Not how you look in the mirror, but inside, in your bones, your joints, your energy, your heart. Do you still feel capable? Independent? Alive? Because the truth is, if you're in your 70s or 80s and you're still able to do certain things, simple things that many people take for granted, you're not just lucky. You're part of a rare group. A gem, really. And I don't mean that lightly. Aging isn't about how many candles are on your birthday cake. It's about how many days you wake up and still feel like yourself. Like you have purpose, dignity, strength, and yes, even a little curiosity left in you. Some people slow down in their 60s. Others? They hit 80 and are still walking faster than folks half their age. So today, I want to talk with you about 8 things that, if you're still doing them between the ages of 70 and 80, show just how rare and remarkable you are. Not to brag, but to recognize it. And more importantly, to help you keep doing those things for as long as life allows. Let me begin with something simple. Something you may have done this morning without thinking about it, standing up from a chair without using your hands. You know what I'm talking about, just pushing up with your legs, nice and steady, no oomph, no leaning forward, no grabbing the armrest or table. If you can still do that at your age, your legs, hips, and core are holding strong, and that's a big deal. You see, studies have shown that your ability to rise from a seated position without assistance is directly tied to your longevity. Researchers even use it as a predictor of mortality risk. It may seem like a small thing, but it tells us a lot about your muscle strength, your balance, and your overall mobility. Many folks lose this ability by their late 60s. So if you're 75 and still popping up from the sofa like it's nothing, that's not just a good sign, it's a great one. And that strength doesn't only matter for mobility, it protects you from falls, helps you walk longer distances, and even supports your digestion and circulation. Think about that the next time you stand up to grab a glass of water, you're telling your body, "I've still got it." Now speaking of movement, let me ask you something else. When was the last time you walked up a flight of stairs without stopping to catch your breath? Maybe it was earlier today. Maybe you have to take it a bit slower now, one step at a time, and that's okay. But if you're still able to climb stairs, even a small set, without feeling like your heart's going to pound out of your chest, you're doing better than most folks your age. Climbing stairs isn't just about having strong legs. It's about cardiovascular health. It's about lung capacity, blood flow, oxygen usage. Basically, it's a mini stress test for your whole system, and every time you do it, you're giving your body a workout and a message: stay strong. Keep going. And let me tell you, being able to handle stairs without help is one of the most important factors in staying independent. Because the moment you lose that ability, suddenly you're stuck on one floor, relying on others, rearranging your life around what your body can't do. But if you're in your 70s or 80s and still going up and down without dreading it, that's something to celebrate. Now, let's shift from the legs to something a little more subtle. Balance. Have you tried standing on one foot lately? Maybe while brushing your teeth or waiting for the kettle to boil. Try it now, if it's safe to do so. Can you stay steady for 10 seconds? How about 15? If you can, again, you're doing something many others your age cannot. Good balance means your inner ear, your brain, your muscles, and your nerves are all still communicating clearly. It means your risk of falling, and let's face it, falls are a big concern as we get older, is much lower. It means your reflexes are sharp enough to catch you if you trip or wobble. And it even means better cognitive health. That's right, studies have found that seniors with good balance tend to perform better on memory and focus tests. Because balance isn't just about physical control. It's also about brain function. If you're in your 70s and can still keep steady on one foot, even for just a few seconds, that's a signal your body and mind are still in sync. And that brings me to something you may not expect. Something we often overlook until it starts to slip away. Your voice. Have you noticed how some older folks' voices become shaky, or soft, or thin? It's not just from age. It's often because the vocal cords and supporting muscles weaken when they're not used, and yes, even the lungs play a part. But if you're 70 or 80 and still speaking clearly, projecting your voice, holding a conversation with strength and confidence, you're doing something wonderful for your health. Strong vocal tone suggests strong lung function. It shows your diaphragm and core muscles are still active. And more than that, it means you're communicating. Staying social. Sharing stories. Asking questions. Laughing. And that's one of the strongest predictors of long-term health. Because staying socially engaged, even just having daily conversations with neighbors, family, or friends, keeps your brain active and your emotions balanced. And that kind of connection is something no medication can replace. Let's be honest, aging isn't always easy. Some mornings, your knees ache. Some nights, you can't sleep. And yes, sometimes the world feels a bit too fast, a bit too different. But if you're still standing up on your own, climbing stairs, keeping your balance, and using your voice with strength, you are not just doing okay. You are thriving in a way that many can't. And it's not luck. It's the result of how you've lived, how you've moved, eaten, rested, loved, and kept going. Even when it was hard. Especially when it was hard. So, if that's you, keep going. Because the next signs we'll talk about are just as powerful and just as telling. Watching and feel that these insights are meaningful. Please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Your gut, grip, and outlook, the longevity trifecta. Let's talk about something you may not think of as a window into your future, your gut. Yes, that one. The one that rumbles before lunch and gets a little stubborn after too much cheese. But here's what science says, your gut health is closely tied to how well you age, and even how long you might live. 3. Your gut is talking, are you listening? Researchers now believe that a healthy gut microbiome may be one of the strongest predictors of longevity. A large study from the University of California, San Diego found that people in their 70s and 80s who had diverse and resilient gut bacteria also had better brain health, lower inflammation, and slower aging. But here's what's even more fascinating. In people who lived past 90, their gut microbiome continued to evolve and adapt, just like in much younger people. That flexibility seems to be a secret ingredient for long life. So, how do you know if your gut is working for you or against you? Are you often bloated, constipated, or struggling with digestion? Do you frequently feel sluggish after eating? Are you on multiple antibiotics or medications that may disrupt gut bacteria? If so, your gut may be quietly sending out warning signs. The good news? It's never too late to support it. Eating more fiber, especially from fruits, vegetables, and beans, fermented foods like yogurt and kimchi, and cutting down on processed foods can help rebuild a more youthful microbiome. Because sometimes the key to adding more years to your life is simply adding more plants to your plate. 4. Your handshake may reveal more than you think. Now, let's talk about something most people overlook, grip strength. It may sound odd, but your grip can say a lot about how your body is aging. Studies published in journals like The Lancet and BMJ have repeatedly shown that lower grip strength is associated with a shorter lifespan, even when controlling for age, weight, or health conditions. Why? Because grip strength reflects overall muscle quality and nervous system health. You don't need to crush apples with your bare hands to live long. But if opening a jar feels harder than it used to, or you avoid lifting grocery bags with one hand, that's worth paying attention to. Simple strength training, even with light weights or resistance bands, can make a big difference. Start with a couple of 5-minute sessions per day. Squeeze a soft ball while watching TV. Use hand grippers. It all adds up. Maintaining your strength is about more than just picking up bags. It's about staying independent, mobile, and confident in your body. 5. Optimism isn't just nice, it's life-saving. Here's a surprising one. Your attitude about life may be as important as any medication. A massive study from Harvard that followed over 70,000 people found that those with the most optimistic outlook had a significantly lower risk of dying over the next few decades, regardless of race, income, or even existing health problems. Optimism has been linked to lower levels of chronic inflammation, better heart health, stronger immune function, and even lower cancer risk. It's not about pretending life is perfect. It's about training your brain to focus more on what's possible than what's broken. Ask yourself, do you believe your best years could still be ahead? Do you focus on what you can do instead of what you've lost? Do you find reasons to laugh, even on hard days? These aren't just soft questions, they're strong predictors of resilience. And remember, optimism is a skill, not a personality trait. You can build it. You can practice it. Start small, write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Spend more time with uplifting people. Watch inspiring stories. Speak kindly to yourself. Longevity isn't just about avoiding death, it's about embracing life. In part 3, we'll explore 2 final signs, one you might feel in your legs, and one you might see in your social life, that powerfully predict your ability to stay independent, sharp, and thriving for years to come. So don't go anywhere, your future self is waiting. Let's wrap up with the final 2 signs that scientists say can offer a powerful glimpse into how long you might live after 70. These 2 don't just predict lifespan, they point to quality of life. And the best part? You can take action on them starting today. Sign number 6, your sense of purpose. Yes, it sounds abstract, but don't underestimate this one. Researchers from the University of Michigan studied over 6,000 people over age 50. What they found was remarkable. People with a strong sense of purpose in life were less likely to die over the following decade, even when controlling for things like health conditions and wealth. Another study published in JAMA Psychiatry looked at nearly 7,000 older adults. It concluded that people with a high level of purpose had a mortality risk 2.4 times lower than those who felt aimless. Why is this so powerful? Because having a reason to get out of bed in the morning, even if it's simply to care for a pet, tend your garden, or volunteer once a week, activates something deep in our biology. It boosts hormones like oxytocin and dopamine, which protect against stress and inflammation. It keeps the brain sharp. It helps regulate sleep and even supports immunity. Think about people in the blue zones, areas of the world where folks commonly live to 100. In Okinawa, Japan, they call this sense of purpose ikigai. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, it's called plan de vida. The name doesn't matter, the idea does. These people don't just live long. They live engaged. And it doesn't have to be something huge. Purpose can be simple. It can be as small as growing tomatoes for your grandkids or calling a friend every Sunday to check in. As long as it matters to you, it counts. So if you've been feeling like you're just passing time, maybe today is the day to ask, what's one thing that makes me feel useful, connected, or joyful? Start there. That spark can make all the difference. Sign number 7, your social connections. This one may surprise you. Loneliness is now considered as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's right, according to a massive meta-analysis published in PLOS Medicine, people with strong social relationships had a 50% increased chance of survival over time compared to those with weak or limited connections. Harvard's famous 80-year study on adult development reached a similar conclusion. The strongest predictor of a happy, healthy life? Not wealth. Not fame. Not even physical health. It was the quality of a person's relationships. Friendships. Family ties. Even a weekly bridge group or church potluck. These social bonds aren't just nice to have. They're essential. They reduce stress, keep depression at bay, and even lower your risk of dementia. Why? Because connection stimulates the brain. It boosts immune function. And emotionally, it gives you a sense of belonging, something humans are wired to need. So if your social circle has gotten smaller over the years, that's okay. It's not too late to build it back. Maybe it's joining a walking group at the park. Maybe it's calling an old friend. Maybe it's saying yes to a community event even if you feel shy at first. It doesn't have to be a dozen people. Even one good friend can change everything. The big picture, what all these signs point to. Let's take a moment to step back. These 7 signs, walking speed, grip strength, optimism, inflammation, sleep, purpose, and connection, may sound like a mixed bag. But when you look closer, they all point to one thing. Resilience. Not just physical resilience, the ability to bounce back from illness or injury, but emotional and social resilience too. The ability to adapt, to keep moving forward, to stay connected to life. In a way, they're less about predicting the future and more about shaping it. Because here's the truth no one tells you loudly enough. Even after 70, you have influence over your health, your mood, your strength, and your joy. Every step you take, literally and figuratively, matters. Every new friend, every new habit, every good night's sleep adds up. Longevity isn't about living forever. It's about living fully. Not just adding years to your life, but adding life to your years. Final thoughts, the next step is yours. You don't need to fix all 7 signs at once. Pick one that speaks to you. Maybe today, that means a 5-minute walk around the block. Maybe it means reaching for a healthy dinner. Maybe it means texting a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Or writing down one small thing you're looking forward to this week. Start small. Stay consistent. And trust this. You're not powerless, no matter what your age says. In fact, if you're over 70 and still curious enough to learn, you're already ahead of the game. So here's to strong hands, steady feet, good friends, deep purpose, and many years still to come. You've got this. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights mean a lot to us and give us the motivation to keep spreading positivity and practical advice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support truly helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.